Chief Minister Vijay seems to be raining fire. He's just now concluded as far as his address to the people of Karur today. Of course, addressing when it comes to the families who were devastated because last year in September when 41 people died following when it comes to the TVK's election campaign. And the Chief Minister has been squarely taking on the now DMK in the opposition exactly when it comes to that he believes was a conspiracy in a possible manner to not get him win or even to participate in the election. So he's been taking on the opposition DMK, saying that there were multiple attempts, objections that have been raised, especially of not wanting him to be, in Karur. And of course, when it comes to the objection that has also been raised against him, giving government jobs to those who have been affected because of the stampede. We have Varshini and Dharani both joining us live right now. Varshini, the quick highlights there from the Chief Minister's speech. Of course, he's been taking on the DMK in particular. Varshini, the main highlights of Vijay's speech today, please, if you can quickly summarize.
Definitely, yes. He started off with mentioning about the stampede that happened last year in September and how it, unfortunate things does happen in everybody's life, and how we have to cope up with this, how we have to learn to get over the grief, and how to change things around, how to make the world a better place, a much safe and secure place is what he has been thinking for the last many months. And that's how, this particular incident has put everybody in the party who were present at that place and who were all across the state have been drowning in grief, and now they are slowly coming back, and the small things that they could do to make life better for the people of Tamil Nadu is what is important, and that is what we are working towards, is what Chief Minister Vijay mentioned. And again, he also spoke about all the other things, about how there is a lot of criticism against him. They are always constantly, the oppositions, particularly the DMK, are trying to drag him down, pull him down, and have been making very unnecessary and personal remarks about him. In fact, when he mentioned the word party funds in the assembly, he did not mention any party's name. He said he only mentioned party funds, but again, there was immediate response from the DMK. They walked out, they immediately left, as if he said as if he made some direct attack, which was not the case. And he's also speaking about how can we have a genuine and a very mature and a very a good conversation and a good discussions in the assembly if they will immediately leave the assembly. Isn't the assembly supposed to be a place where we can have good conversations for the betterment of the state of Tamil Nadu, is something he asked. And he also mentioned about the Meghatatu issue. He said the opposition and DMK have been constantly questioning why the Chief Minister is not speaking about Meghatatu, and in fact he said that is the very reason why we passed a special resolution in the Tamil Nadu State Assembly, proving and making sure that our stand in this matter is very clear to the world. He also mentioned that other chief ministers can speak to the media or to the people how many times ever we want, but yes, but when it comes to the TVK government, one strong statement is enough, is what he mentioned. And he still exclaimed that the decision about Meghatatu will be very strong, and the Tamil Nadu government will fight it against the Karnataka government, be it in the state assembly by passing resolutions or even going legally in the Supreme Court. Right now, Chief Minister Vijay has concluded the event and he's coming out, and there is a lot of crowd that is gathered in the roads to see him, have a look at him. In fact, he's expected to do a road show, but given the fact that it's extremely hot, we are not sure whether he's going to, make an appearance and wave at everybody. Let's just wait and see. His convoy vehicles have started to come out. The Chief Minister's vehicle is also coming out. People are excited, cheering for him, and he is coming out of the vehicle and coming out of the venue in his vehicle, and he has not stepped out of the vehicle. Looks like he's going to wave to the public from the outside. The Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Vijay, after concluding his speech, is now leaving from Karur and he is moving towards the district collectorate office. Like we had mentioned, he will be distributing the government job orders to the kin of the victims in the afternoon. At around 3 o'clock, the event will begin.
Okay.
And this is a 7-kilometer route till the district collectorate office. And there are people standing all across the roads. They are standing throughout the lane, and they're all very excited. Look at the faces. They're so happy, and they're so excited that they got a glance of the chief minister. In fact, it does not really look like it is a grief-stricken district. They've all moved on. They've all come out of it, and they're all extremely happy about it. How happy are you? You just met your chief minister.
விஜய் பிளாக் லெட்டர் ரொம்ப சூப்பரா ஒயிட்டா இருந்தாரு செம்ம அழகா அவரு என் கண்ணே பட்ட மாதிரி இருக்கு.
Okay, thank you. So the fans are very happy. They're in fact saying that this is the moment that they were waiting for, and in fact he looked very beautiful is what she mentioned to us while she was talking to us. But more than that, it is a very surface level excitement that we can see. Deeper to that, there are a lot of people who speak about how his comeback to Karur is going to change a lot of things about this place, and they are hoping that they can have a very good development that they can visibly see in the next few years with the new government that has formed in Tamil Nadu. Therefore, his visit in Karur, the first segment of his visit is over now. He gave a speech, like I was mentioning, he spoke about a lot of important things like the Mekatatu issue. He also spoke about the washing machine criticism that TVK has been receiving in the last few weeks, where we are seeing a lot of politicians and leaders jumping ships from party to party. And he mentioned that, this is not about washing machine. The party who is making these accusations is in fact a vending machine who uses money for everything, for buying and selling. We do not do that. It is very organically happening. These leaders really see how true we are, how honest we are, particularly about corruption, and that is why they are coming here. He in fact mentioned a very important point about corruption, that he very explicitly said that eradicating corruption is the main goal of TVK, and that they will continue to do it. Be the people in the government or be the party cadre, they will all be very corrupt-free, very honest. And that is why the public are also giving so much support, and politicians from other parties are also jumping ship, mainly because how corrupt-free and honest we are, and that will continue to happen is what Vijay mentioned in his speech. And he also made other attacks on DMK for bringing up unnecessary issues in rather than focusing into the real problems. They are only doing political back and forth is what he mentioned. And he also made a lot of jokes and a lot of comments about the opposition parties, particularly the DMK and the ADMK. In fact, he also spoke about ADMK, about how it is
I think the party fund statement that was given by the chief minister seems to have gotten a lot of response from the people there. Of course, the kind of cheering and the chants that we could hear, that only talks about the rising popularity of Vijay now as the chief minister. But Dharani, the main question also arises, has the TVK and Vijay managed to change that kind of a narrative? Because if we talk about what happened in Karur, 41 people lost their lives, yes, and in multiple ways, he was also being stopped from visiting Karur, and even when it comes to the offer of the jobs, of the government jobs to the affected families. But has he managed to change the narrative?
The key takeaway for me as far as Vijay's speech is concerned is that he has told that the TVK political party will establish a memorial in related to Karur stampede in the district. That is what he has told. So he says that the upcoming generation, they should also know about what happened in Karur. History should not be distorted. They should know about the conspiracies that were spinned against him and his party TVK. So to make this happen, the TVK as a political party from its funds will establish a memorial in Karur is what he has told. So this is a very important announcement coming in from Chief Minister Vijay. And as far as the stampede is concerned, it looks like Vijay again and again is reiterating that it was the police department, it was the DMK government at that time that was solely responsible for the unfortunate tragedy. Because here also during his speech today, he talks about how the DMK tried to blame him for the stampede and how they shamelessly politicized it. This was a statement made by Chief Minister Vijay today in his speech. So till now he is maintaining the same stance. According to him, the police department did not provide adequate security on the ground, adequate number of police personnel were not deployed in
All
the
right.
rally location in Karur in September
Well,
2025.
let me take that question to Mr. Saravanan of the DMK. Sir, thank you very much for joining in. Of course, as the Chief Minister has now finally managed to reach Karur, he also addressed the people and he's been taking on the opposition, squarely blaming that it was the opposition now, but then it was the ruling government of the DMK. And as far as the blame that was trying to be shifted on him for the stampede, and now this seems to be a narrative that the Chief Minister now seems to be changing in the favor of his party and his office.
Yeah. See, one simple question. That is why the Chief Minister is not meeting the press. One question remains unanswered, even after more than 6 months have passed. Why did Mr. Vijay come late for that meeting? That is the question. And that is the question, that is the answer the CBI is trying to find. And now Mr. Vijay wants to divert that. See, he is making an emotional speech, or he making a punch dialogue that he is not responsible, that it is the DMK that is responsible. The CBI will find out who's responsible. But let me put it, why Mr. Vijay has not answered why he came late. Today he was there on dot, isn't it?
But Mr. Saravanan, legally also, what standing would you have? I mean, as far as the DMK, your petition was already dismissed on part of the Supreme Court. He now is in Karur. He is not an accused as far as the FIR is concerned. There was objection also being raised over his, government appointment letters, jobs to the people, affected kin. That also has been now given a clear signal. So what are we now looking at? The basis of the legal standing. That seems to be going in his favor.
Yeah, we are now looking at how Mr. Vijay is trying to escape liability, protect his other party men who are all accused of this crime. It cannot happen. Just because you have become a chief minister and you are preaching from the pulpit, it doesn't mean that whatever you say is the gospel truth. Okay. The CBI will find out what the truth is. The only thing is this. Please, just because you are there and you are saying it doesn't become the truth. You sought permission. On that fateful day, you sought permission for 5,000 people. Why? Because you thought only those many people will come. Those many people also did not come at the allotted time. So you deserved. You waited for a huge crowd to show up. And that is why, only because 5,000 people were permission were sought.
Well, that is all part of the investigation, sir, that is being conducted by the central agency. But looking at the pictures there, in no way does it suggest that his popularity has been affected or, diminished in any way. But thank you very much, Mr. Saravanan, for joining in. Let's dip in and talk about what the Chief Minister has been saying, of course, on several issues that he has highlighted. He's been speaking on the party funds. He's been speaking on the opposition side in the assembly. He's been speaking on the Mekedatu issue as well. And also when it comes to the Karur victims, he says that he shares their pain. Let's listen in.
ஒரு மனுஷன் லைஃப்ல எவ்வளவு பெரிய ஒரு உயரத்துக்கு போனாலும் மனசளவுல சில வலிகள் காயங்கள் அதை மறக்க முடியாது இல்லையா? ஆனா எல்லாத்தையும் விட ரொம்ப ஜாஸ்தியான அந்த வலியும் அந்த காயமும் எனக்கு அந்த கரூர் சம்பவம் தான். அந்த கரூர் போலீஸ் எங்களை அலர்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கலாம்ல. இல்லை சார், இங்க எதிர்பார்த்ததை விட கொஞ்சம் கூட்டம் அதிகமாக இருக்கு, கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ண முடியல, வராதீங்க. அண்ட் போலீஸ் நினைச்சா அவங்க அந்த மீட்டிங்கே கேன்சல் பண்ணலாம். ஏதோ தப்பா இருக்கு, ஏதோ தப்பா தோணுது அப்படின்னு நினைச்சிட்டாலே.
All right, grand welcome that he was accorded. We are looking at now from some time from now, of course, when it comes to the government appointment letters that would be given into the kin of those who have been affected because of the Karur stampede. So the updates continue to come in from Tamil Nadu. Thank you, Varshni and Dharni, for joining us live. Let's, in the meantime, shift focus this afternoon on Afternoon Dispatch and talk about a statement that has been garnering a lot of controversy. UP Governor Anandiben Patel has stirred a controversy where she seems to be advising women to become good mothers first, learn cooking, and then they can focus on becoming IAS officer or any other professional. So become an expert mother first, and then an IAS officer seems to be an advice that the UP governor there seems to be giving to women out there before pursuing careers as IAS officer or even teachers, while urging them to continue education and work after marriage. Let's listen in.
आज जो महिलाएं हैं उनको कम से कम परिवार में जो खाना बनता है वो तो उसका आना ही चाहिए। चाहे आप अध्यापक बनो, चाहे आप आईएएस ऑफिसर बनो, कोई भी बनो, एक एक्सपर्ट मां बनो पहले तो वो जरूरत है।
Well, let's connect with Adib on this. Adib, a lot of controversy seems to be surrounding, coming in from a woman herself as far as the UP governor is concerned. Speaking on part of a woman, what should rather be doing, as prioritizing either motherhood or jobs. I mean, this is more personal as to coming from any family, because cooking is more like a survival and a life skill. What about education? Doesn't that become a priority in anybody's life?
Well, certainly, Amita, see, at a time when we talk about women empowerment and when we talk about Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, things like that, certainly a bizarre comment that has come in from the governor of Uttar Pradesh, where she is saying that women first should learn the cooking so that she doesn't have to listen to the taunts of her mother-in-law, or rather she should focus on motherhood rather than on career. First, she should become a good mother, and then she should focus on becoming aspiring upon becoming an IAS officer or a teacher in matter of that fact. In fact, the Samajwadi Party has taken on the governor of Uttar Pradesh, where they are saying that we don't know why she is saying like this, and maybe she is hitting out someone.
Well, that has triggered a debate, no less, because we'll be playing out the opposition reactions as well. While she was speaking to the students, parents and the faculty, the UP governor, who's also a chancellor of the state university, seems to be emphasizing family values, parental responsibility, and also character building, saying that education should extend beyond when it comes to academic achievement. Adib, for the moment, thank you very much for joining in. We're going to head into a short break. You're watching Afternoon Dispatch.